y'all, it's your boy Yada.
It's your boy Sam.
You tune into another episode of the Envelope Pushers. Want
Yes,
to know what
sir.
Envelope Pusher is?
Yes, sir. I got you. So, envelope pusher is to go beyond normal limits to try out a new and different idea that is often viewed as radical or risky. And that's what we came here to do today, man.
Yeah, we back. You feel me? Sorry for the wait. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes,
we're
sir.
gonna, we gonna be more serious. It feels good to be back too, don't it?
It do feel good to be back, and I'm gonna say it's the weight on my side, man. I've been caught up with a little life stuff, man. But we trying to be more consistent on our comeback here. So look forward to some more episodes coming out weekly. Gonna figure out a certain date. Hopefully we either can drop these videos on Saturday consistently or Sunday. Y'all also let us know what days work for y'all, if y'all like it to come out on a specific day where y'all can really sit back and listen to this knowledge. And also follow our Instagram to stay updated with all that stuff as well, and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like I said, we got some things planned, but just give us some feedback too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks. We've been gone for a little bit, so don't be too harsh on us on the feedback. Just know that we came back, man. It's still gonna be the same great information, still highlighting Black excellence, man, and still talking about what's going on in the culture. So we back at it. Give
100.
us a thumbs up on this one.
Hey, I'm gonna do something Dr. Boys does too. If you watch Dr. Boys, give us a B1. Give us a B1 in the comments if you Black first. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Give us a B1.
And you gotta be that. You gotta put your people first. Hey, and it's still Black History Year. You did. We. I'm gonna keep pushing that, man. No month. Keep supporting your folks, man. You know, Kenyatta, I'm rocking with the shirt too, man. I like the flip of the
FOI.
Yeah,
for the Islam. Brother Santana again. Yeah, I wear these all the time. You feel me?
But I just wanted to highlight that too. I'm in the black hoodie, so you know what time I'm on, y'all. That's all I gotta say. No, I'm joking.
We got the black ones on too.
Yes,
I know you be rocking the ones.
Yes, sir. Got to love them from Atlanta. That's it. That's how it goes. So what we got? What we got today, man? We actually got some good stuff since we've been gone. So
a lot has happened. A lot has happened. We ain't been gone too long, but like a lot has happened. You feel me? So
facts.
It's definitely a long time coming. But so the first topic we're gonna talk about is, I don't know if y'all saw it, but the Haitian president got assassinated, right? And what have you seen much on that, Sam?
A little bit. I know I've seen a couple reactions to him. I know some people that are Haitian. And they were upset, seen a couple tears being shed about what's going on, but I didn't get too much into the details. I know it's something about some interference and stuff like that, but I'm gonna let you break down the story too. So if you want to.
I mean, basically for the overview, right? So like, he got assassinated, right?
The president, correct?
Yep, the president. In this relationship with Haiti, especially, when it comes to America, and I guess you can say the system of white supremacy because it's global, you know what I'm saying? But if y'all don't know, Haiti fought. I mean, there's a Haitian revolution, right? Shout out to Toussaint Louverture, Jacques Dessalines, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Shout out to the ancestors. But, it was basically, slaves, right? Just like our history here in America, you know what I'm saying? How we was brought here, they was brought to Haiti, right? Just different boat stop. And they fought the French and won, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? I think this is one of the first victories or something like that. One of the most prominent victories I know that we see. That still a stain on the other side. They still feel some type of way about that loss.
Oh, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And they made them pay colonial tax. They went and burned the land. You know what I'm saying? But this is the only Black nation in the Western Hemisphere, right?
Yep.
So, and they say, like, I don't know if y'all watched like the 1804 documentary from Tariq Nasheed, which is really good, by the way. This actually taught me a lot of Haitian history. Like, I'm surprised I didn't know much about this. You feel me? And I started realizing how important it is, right? Even as a foundational Black American, to learn about, Haitian history. You feel me? Because they say that, like, the brothers in Haiti, right? They wanted to actually come to America and help us out at one point. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was also another crazy thing too, was like, France was a big power. Like, I'm sure y'all heard about the Louisiana Purchase. You know what I'm saying? They owned a big chunk of America. And they say, like, it was like suspicions that France was actually gonna attack America, who wasn't that strong at the time. But they had to come to Haiti and deal with the revolution. So it's a lot of crazy history, but they don't want us to see an example of like a thriving Black nation on the Western Hemisphere. You get what I'm saying? So now y'all can see how they always demonizing Haiti and voodoo, and they don't want Haiti to succeed because that might spark something in us. You feel me?
Yeah, and I was gonna say it's just a constant attack. I don't think you ever hear anything positive about Haiti in the news. They're never gonna be portrayed as a country of um, determination or will, because they definitely overcame a lot. Um, and like you said, the French, they always are taxing them or trying to figure out ways to get up under their skin to mess with them, like little flies that they are sometimes. And also the U.S. too, they got to figure out ways to mess with an example that was set in the past. And we see that, of course. If you don't know about Haiti, please go look up the history of Haiti, and also the revolution that happened there. Please go look that up and read up on it, because that'll just entice some fire in you, and let you know that it is possible. That is a nation that did it successfully. So they leading by example, essentially, when it came to that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so with this whole assassination thing, right? So this was actually a couple of days ago from the time of this recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
And basically it said, like, the ex-intelligence official Joseph Felix Badio, I guess, don't climb my pronunciation, but Badio maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Um I guess he sent two Colombian soldiers, and I guess they say that they would be arresting the president, but then they were later told that they would be assassinating him, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that just came out. So people from Colombia, I guess, did it because they were looking like in Haiti, like they was taking people, right? They wasn't they wasn't handling this lightly, right? You know how them
Oh yeah.
Haitians get down. So it was really like trying to find who did this. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And
And
I'll go
mhm.
keep going.
No, you go, you go.
I was just gonna say, and just from some stuff that like I seen randomly, and this could not be true, but I think it was a reporter in Haiti. He was just talking about that. Also, they got into a shootout with a couple of the uh, the agents, a couple of the people who came over to assassinate the president. I think they ended up killing one and capturing two more, something like that.
Wait,
I might be
recently
yeah,
or a while ago?
it might be recently. I might be
Because
mistaken, so don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what I seen on the video, and I'm not sure if you got more information on that or not, Kenyatta.
yeah, because I was gonna say I don't know if y'all remember, but I think like last year or something like that, there
Mm-hmm.
was something like where they found agents in Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like that. I saw that, and then now this is happening, which is crazy. But here's another crazy thing, right? So one of the things about the president of Haiti, so one major things he was doing, what he was known for. So I don't know if Haiti had the lowest, but they definitely had like some of the lowest COVID cases in the whole world,
Mm-hmm.
right? They just weren't, COVID wasn't big over there, right? Like it hit here. And the president basically said like he believes it's because the Haitians had a real connection with nature. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I mean, all black people all throughout the world, right? We have this connection with nature, with holistics, right? That's been our
Yeah.
culture, right? Even
Okay.
even foundational Black Americans, and
Yep.
you know what I'm saying. All of we had this connection with
We
nature,
all definitely. Yep.
and there's this plant. Did I have it right here? Dang, it was a certain plant that they make with like ginger tea.
Mm-hmm.
It's called I think Sarasi or Asasi, Asosi plant or whatever. It's usually made in like ginger tea, and he was basically saying that like we have a connection with nature, and we don't. That's what he's seen, right? That's what he knows, and he said that was probably one of the reasons why they don't have a big COVID rate, and he also rejected the vaccine, right?
Mm. And that's great.
Rejected it.
And I got a question, not to interrupt our topic,
Yeah.
but I know this is something that we can kind of dive into. Like, how do you feel about like us as black people going to the holistic type of medicine to cure things, not depending on Western science or medication to essentially fight off infections, diseases, and things like that? Like, how do you feel about that? Because I know sometimes it's a hindrance to our community. It could hurt our community, but then also too, um, some of the research shows that you don't need certain type of medicines to get rid of certain sicknesses. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, honestly, like I'm all for it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like I haven't taken like, I mean, a lot of people like to, let's say I have a headache or something, right? A lot
Yeah.
of people might want to take like Tylenol or aspirin and stuff like that. I stopped taking that like what, probably like my junior year. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like there's just things like that. I've been trying to stop doing that. And but with the whole topic go together, I think it's definitely something that we need to start practicing, right? Because like I believe if we did live a more natural way of life and we ate the right foods, and you know what I'm saying, a lot of times we probably it would prevent us from having a lot of medical conditions in the first place.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what I believe, to be honest. I think we should definitely like get back into that, and like taking like pills and stuff like that. Like at times it can be bad for you because there is side effects to a lot of these medications, right?
Oh yeah,
A lot
definitely.
of people don't know. Even taking like Tylenol and there's another one that's not coming to my mind right now, but taking that for years upon years upon years, like there can be complications with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not good for the body. And if y'all don't know, I mean, Dr. Sebi, you know, he's kind of like really popular on a lot of people talk about him on Twitter and make jokes and stuff. But
Yeah.
if you haven't really looked at his work though, that's somebody to check out. Dr. Laila Africa as well. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Rest in peace to both of them. But especially Dr. Laila Africa, he wrote like books like the African Holistic Health Textbook. He wrote a book on melanin. He has lectures on YouTube too. But if y'all are interested in like holistics and how that works, right? Those are definitely two good people to follow. You know what I'm saying, to look at.
Facts. I just had to ask that because I know, especially in our community, at least the African American community, I know people outside of that probably think that kind of the same way we do. I know, like when COVID hit, COVID was like, okay, we're gonna follow the rules, we're gonna mask up and whatnot. But then once the uh, the vaccines came out, a lot of people are against the vaccine, especially in our community,
Mm-hmm.
and we know that what they do, they sterilize us through a lot of medicine. Um, they put a lot of diseases in our body with the medicines and vaccines that they,
Tuskegee.
yeah, Tuskegee is a big one. Like we've seen it throughout history, what they can do to us through those needles. So I know when COVID came out and then the vaccine came out for it, a lot of people in our community was like, I don't know about all that. Even me, and that might be an ignorant statement to some people, because I know some people in our community is like, oh, that's ignorant for you to think like that. But honestly,
That's
like
that's
I've
that's
seen,
crazy. Is ignorant to critically think. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, but some people do think like that. But then, I'll never go back and forth with people like that when they understand the issues. Because if I bring up um, infant mortality within our community in the hands of hospitals and doctors, and also Black women receiving certain medical treatment inside these hospitals, now that's a real statement. But if I question something about a vaccine, it's an ignorant thing to even question. But I'm gonna leave that for a certain topic, because things like that kind of pisses me off, because that's probably my number one pet peeve. There is what they do to us in our medical system at our most vulnerable moment. But that's the main reason why I asked, and I thought it was a good question to go along with this topic. But you want to continue explaining? We can keep going.
Yeah, for sure, right? So the Haitian president, and see, I should have had this list, but I want to just focus on Haiti. But
Yeah.
there is some of our leaders in Africa too that denied the vaccine, right? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Because a lot of them are. I mean, a lot of times, white people like to come to Africa and they use the people as test dummies for these vaccines. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
remember that. I remember at the beginning when they were coming out with the vaccine. No, I remember when COVID first popped up, they were shocked that there wasn't a lot of cases in Africa
yeah,
at the beginning. And then two, I remember when the vaccines came out, they were upset because they weren't getting enough people to test the vaccine out on in Africa.
yeah.
So using them as those test guinea pigs, kind of, which was crazy to me, because I remember they were like, oh, there's not that many cases currently in Africa of COVID. And the scientists were like, we don't know how. Like, how is that? How is there not a lot of cases in Africa? Like, that should be the number one place, right? So I definitely believe that.
So it's almost like they were mad that it was
No,
maybe it was like their plan type shit. It just didn't
no,
work
for
out.
real. They were for real. Like, we do not understand how there's not that many cases in Africa of COVID. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Huh? Like, do you want that many cases? And then when the vaccine came out, they're like, uh, we don't have enough subjects to test from Africa to test this vaccine. What's happening? Why are we focused so hard on Africa? Why?
Yeah, they don't.
It's blatant in your face now, but
Well, yeah, and they'll give people money, this all the other kind of stuff. Like a lot of leaders will sell out and take the money and take all this other stuff, so they can come in and do that, right?
yep.
But yeah, there's a lot of leaders that just have died in the past year. You know what I'm saying? That have denied the vaccine, which is crazy. But he was one of them, right? And another thing that he did, he was gonna make some changes to the Constitution, right? He was gonna make it so that Haitians in the diaspora could run for office.
Mm-hmm.
They could vote, and it would be easier for them. Not easier than like the people that live in there, but just easier time for them to buy land in
Mm.
Haiti, right? Get the diaspora involved. You know what I'm saying? And he was gonna make those changes to the Constitution. And basically, he got assassinated now, and it's like almost like not even a week after he's assassinated. Guess what's coming to Haiti? A COVID vaccine. You
Which yeah,
feel me?
right
And
after it.
it's also something interesting too. And this is I saw this on Brother Hassan's page, but there's like a video clip of Joe Biden,
Mm.
and it must have been like some years ago. It looked a little dated, and Joe Biden's he's president now, but he was like it wouldn't matter if Haiti just sunk into the ground or rose up. You know what I'm saying? 300 feet or something like that. He's basically saying like it doesn't matter. Like so, this hate towards Haiti, right? That the system white supremacy has because of their success of steps in their own country. And now Joe Biden is the president. He's the one that said that. It's very interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's just so much hate, and I think the hate is just so like blatant and overt. Like, when I first found out about the Haitian president being assassinated, I seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, the U.S. like the U.S. did it. The U.S. government did it. They killed them." And all this stuff wrapped up into that. I think when, for one, like, I don't want to say conspiracies, but allegations are like that are made like that could be true, or are true.
Yeah.
When allegations are made like that, what do we do as a group to combat that? Like, when we think of the worst thing, like, okay, let's say, yeah, Joe Biden himself sent somebody to go do that. I'm just saying, you know, and that comes out to be true. Like, what do we do as a community? Not saying we have to even have an answer right now, but like, what do we do as a community to kind of combat that and not allow that to happen in front of our eyes so blatantly? Because him being assassinated, that's a big fu to the Haitian people
Oh yeah.
in general. That's like a big fu to Haitian people, and the people in Haiti are gonna feel it. The hate people who are Haitian that live in the United States are gonna feel that, and then too, as Black people, we feel that too. Like, even though that we're not so connected to them as in where they're from or where we're from, but still, that's a Black president that was assassinated by another government or another organization. So it was planned to take down and hurt other Black people, cutting off the head of the snake, essentially.
Oh yeah. And like I said, we've had many experiences like that too. Our
Yeah.
leaders assassinated. We know all about that.
Always.
You
Yep.
feel me?
Always. Yeah. Gotta protect
Yeah,
them.
for sure. And also one thing I want to add too with that, so not only this, but here is also something that was talked about. Russia was also there was talk of Russia actually going to help Haiti build a stronger military,
Mm-hmm.
right? And also we know the history with like America and communism or America and Russia,
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of like Cuba, you know what I'm saying? When Russia came in
Yep.
to give, that Castro was with Russia, and then even like I think we're just now like getting better with Cuba, but Cuba was like didn't exist to America for like for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like it was real beef, but I think that's interesting too. Because whenever Russia goes in, or let's say like another like country, like that has a lot of Black people in it, whatever that wants to make a strong military, it's almost like they're attacked.
Mm-hmm.
They're overdue. Like they don't got a right to defend themselves or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Not at
that's
all.
that's also definitely very interesting to me. And we know America's history with Russia and stuff like that. So
Yeah, they even look what I think Rocky Balboa fought a Russian in one of the movies. I think it was like Rocky three or
Ivan Drago.
yeah.
Yeah. 5.
I was gonna say it was one of them
Yeah.
Rockies where he was fighting a Russian. They gonna make sure let folks know that the U.S. do not
Yeah.
rock with the Russians.
I was in the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they was,
Yeah. Ivan Drago.
and then even when that boy Trump was in office, he was hanging out, and they was talking about that he loved Putin. They was trying to get him out of there. It's like you cannot like a Russian leader. You cannot kick it with that man. He over there riding horsebacks with no shirt on, all types of wild stuff. They was on his head.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that was definitely something to look into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least there'll be something important that happened. And also for our next topic, so this has been huge too. The Bill Cosby situation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
This
He got released.
yeah, this one was I feel like this had mixed responses. Um and I want to make sure that at least me, I'm treading lightly on this topic because this topic is real tricky and all over the place. But I seen a lot of mixed responses. I felt like it was very kind of straight down the line for how people felt. Either people were happy about Bill Cosby's release or people were highly upset about Bill Cosby release. I know when I think I found out that he was getting released, uh, if you don't know, Bill Cosby was arrested. If you don't know, please go look it up. You should know what's going on. But Bill Cosby was
Yeah.
arrested on sexual assault charges, I believe, and then sentenced to some time. I don't know how long, but I know that it was possibly towards the end of his life there. But he was released on a technicality. Um, that's the reason why he was released. Do you know the technicality that he was released on?
Yeah, it denied him his due process. They took it. They basically he ain't had no rights.
Yeah,
it
essentially he
was
did.
it was BS. Like, see, yeah, it's funny because I've been saying this for like a minute, right? And of course, like when people don't look into things, you won't get backlash. But if you
Yeah,
really like, I encourage y'all to really look into this case and what's been going on because how they did him was crazy, and it's
because
actually
he.
I'm surprised he's out too. I'm surprised they corrected it even. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But yeah,
Because um yeah, so basically he got released on a technicality, and they didn't give him his due process. Uh, and with that, I seen it when I was at work, and I was like, oh, I just mentioned it random. I was like, oh, Bill. I think I was on my lunch. I was like, Bill Cosby got released. One person was like, oh, okay, cool, and then somebody else was like, what? Why? What? Why the hell? And I'm like, it looked like it says a technicality, and they're like, oh, bullshit. And I was like, okay.
right
That's,
away
I mean,
without even looking into something. Like, that's
yeah,
crazy.
so I was like, okay, cool. That's how people want to feel. I felt like that whole trial and the whole thing, just the whole thing around Bill Cosby was very like iffy and suspicious because it was like people were asking for evidence. Evidence wasn't being like popped up, but it was like a lot of people coming out. So
Yeah,
and people were equating, a lot of people coming out. That means he has to be guilty. Um, he did this. They had these type of drugs back then. People were taking them. People weren't taking them. People were taking them without consent. People were taking them with consent. Like it was just like a lot of stories that I couldn't understand. And so I left it up to, hey, if he did it, and they got the proof, then he needs to go to jail. But what I was seeing, I didn't see that much. And then I stopped also looking at the trial and the case. But Kenyatta, if you want to talk some more about it, then you can. So, but for me personally, I didn't really have a response. I was just like, okay, he's out of prison on a technicality. You know, if something will stick, it'll stick again. And then two, they'll find another way to try to tear him down, I guess.
yeah. So I mean, with Bill Cosby, like honestly, he's been going through it since he's tried to buy NBC. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Black man was trying to own NBC.
And
Right.
let me put this out to uh, when these superstars or these people with celebrities with a lot of money, a lot of power, Prince, Michael Jackson, these people all try to buy out certain companies before their death or their demise. Um, so start noticing the pattern when this happens. I think Michael Jackson was trying to buy out Sony, something like that, and then he randomly passes with a mistake done by a professional doctor. I think
Yeah.
Prince was trying to buy another company out as well. Um, he
I
was
think
trying to
it's
buy.
the same way too, the fentanyl.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
trying to. Yeah, he was trying to buy a company out as well. To his demise, ended up passing. And we you can pick up a pattern. So, but Bill Cosby was also trying to, buy a network, a company, and of course they attacked him as they would. But you can go ahead, finish. I apologize.
Yeah, so yeah, he's been going through it with that, and basically with these allegations. So like this something that happened. It didn't just happen because I think when I think he went to prison like what 4 years ago or 5 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when he actually went. But this is something that happened like a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? And from my understanding, he settled, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once you settle, they can't use that against you. Like they can't just bring it back up and you go to, you know what I'm saying? Like it was supposed to have been settled. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they took that away, right? And basically that's how all this stuff happened. But if you do look into the case, you'll find that a lot of these women that were up on the stand, like some of their cases just got thrown out because they actually got caught lying. Like they were on the opposite side of the world at the time. They said they got raped and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And he's maintained his innocence the whole time. Like I'll say it this way: did Bill Cosby do inappropriate things? Did he have sex? Yeah. I believe he did some inappropriate things. But as far as him like drugging people without consent, nah, he's never admitted to that.
Yeah.
A lot of these women were voluntary taking drugs and wanting to have sex. You feel me?
Yeah. And I think
That's what it's about. Because when a lot of people look at this, because yeah, if a man slips something into a woman's drink without their consent, that's rape, of course. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? But a lot of people I think there's a lot of people out there that think that's what this is about. That's not what this is about. This isn't Bill Cosby just slipping stuff into people's drinks and going and having sex with them.
Yeah.
This is people coming to Bill Cosby and wanting to have sex with Bill Cosby, but they some weird like they want to get higher. They want to be on, you know what I mean, the pills, right? So he was basically just supplying it.
Yeah.
That's all he did. And then they had sex, did they think, whatever. But he wasn't forcing it on nobody. He wasn't, you know what I mean? So that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and I just want to add this because I feel like when it comes to like that celebrity status and the Hollywood behind closed doors, like it gets real like gray and real blurry in there because it's like everybody's there for, of course, a good time. Everybody is there for some type of goal, some type of mission. Nobody's there just to have fun. Everybody's there to have fun with this person, or somebody's there to have fun with their friend. No, and somebody's trying to take it to the next level. Not everybody's trying to take it to the next level, so I'm not condoning anything or saying it's even right that people are wilding in those parties or doing anything. But you have to understand what Hollywood is. These people are dancing with the devil. These people are dancing with the devil when they go to these Hollywood parties. We all joke and we all talk about it like, oh, people are doing this behind closed doors. There's cults in Hollywood. There's all types of wild stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Sex trafficking is huge in Hollywood. People are being sacrificed in the hills. All types of weird stuff. So it's like these people are dancing with the devil, and this ain't to say okay, that's okay for that to happen to them. But I'm just saying it's just a crazy world that we live in. So this doesn't excuse anybody, but it's like, come on, y'all. This is the time that they were living in. Let's say, okay, Bill Cosby's a bad person. The women, if they were assaulted, like you said, some of them were lying, but some of them, they experienced something that none of us I've never experienced, but that some other people have experienced before. But it's like, yo, they were dancing with the devil. That's a crazy place to be. I know I would never take the risk to even do that, even be in the same room to kind of risk it. And we see it with other celebrities too. I think if you guys know the rapper T.I. and his wife Tiny, there was like
Yeah.
allegations against them for,
Yeah.
having like sex type parties with drugs being involved and people being drugged or taking drugs and then being, having sex with them and all types of weird stuff. you know that's why we need to stay away from the drugs in certain parties. I ain't gonna say, tell y'all what to do, but y'all, if y'all popping pills and stuff, be careful. Like, you don't know where them drugs gonna take you. You don't know what them drugs gonna make you say. You might not, you might be thinking you saying something else, and you giving a okay. You might be saying no, but your body don't function. Your body not saying no. Your body just going with the flow, but your mind might be saying no. Like, it's a whole bunch of stuff, man. Y'all be safe when it comes to taking them drugs at them parties around people that might be looking to go to the next level. So that's all I got to say with that. I ain't putting no blame on nobody. I ain't taking no accountability from nobody, but just be safe. And for us in the future, for us young people in the future, be safe when y'all at these parties, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, that's something we can learn too, especially like black men, right? Like,
Facts.
like
Especially,
like I would say, from my opinion, like they did Bill Cosby dirty, but also we gotta understand, like, there's just certain situations that we probably shouldn't be in the first place, right?
Facts.
Right, and especially, like, I mean, especially with the white woman, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, we should know by now, even though it was a black woman that brought this up too. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, especially just you a black man, you got to move military. We talked about that a couple times on here. It's just, there's just certain things you just can't be doing, or you shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing. You
You
know what
got
I'm
to
saying?
move properly.
Won't
Like,
get in trouble. You feel me?
messing, yeah, seeing a girl that's a little too drunk, you come on, your standards is above that. You don't even need to be
Yeah.
trying to be on nothing with that. Like, too drunk, like, nah, move a little bit better. There's drugs at a party. You not slipping nothing nowhere. You not popping nothing. You need to stay on your P's and Q's. I know in Atlanta, for me, I gotta stay on my P's. If I'm going out anywhere at nighttime, I'm on my P's and Q's. I ain't getting too drunk. I ain't taking nothing that's gonna make me forget something, because I need to be on the lookout. Folks is for real looking for the next opportunity. You might be that opportunity for them. So I
Yeah.
definitely understand that. And then too, like you said, especially when it comes to black men, being around women, white women, just being around women in certain situations that either, provide temptation, or I know oftentimes a lot of women get attacked for rejecting men in certain areas, and men feeling embarrassed, and they take it to the next level, and just certain stuff like that. Like, us as men, we need to move a little bit better in certain situations. If we see stuff, pointed out, because that is not cool. But then too, like, we have to understand there's an attack on our character. Like, there's always been this hypersexualized image of black men. Like, there's always been, hey, this black man is raping white women. We've seen it with the Emmett Till. Like, even her, placing the blame of rape on him, or whistling, whatever, and him having to be killed for that. And then years later, when she's on her deathbed, saying, hey, I lied about that.
Yeah.
We this is something continuous. We all know the story of the Division I football player or top basketball player that was around a white girl, or, you know what I'm saying, and a mess up happened, or a lie came out, and now he facing a rape charge. We seen it. We seen this with college athletes facing rape charges, and the rape charges coming back, being dropped because the girl lied, and now his career is over with. You have to understand that there's a target on your back. And even to continue with sports, I know Deshaun Watson, the QB for the Houston Texans, and this kind of goes into this same topic, but Deshaun Watson, if you guys don't know, he's a quarterback for the Houston Texans. I think a year ago, before the season started or after the season, he was asking to get out of his contract. He no longer wanted to be in Houston anymore. He was down in the city, all types of stuff. Just basically saying he didn't want to be there. And the GMs, the owner, the coach did not agree with Deshaun Watson saying he didn't want to be there. They didn't like that. So then a couple months later, after him saying, I don't want to be there, and them doing a little back and forth, now he has allegations of sexual assault, and it's not just one woman, it's few women coming out each week saying, hey, this happened to me, and they're all being represented by somebody that the Houston Texans know, a lawyer that the Houston Texans know. So it's like a little sick. But even now, like, as a black man, when you have one allegation, 2, 3, 4, 5, you pass a certain amount of allegations, now is the the public sees you as guilty. They don't even give you the okay, innocent until proven guilty. No, you're guilty until proven innocent. And then
even if you beat the case,
even if you beat the case,
you still guilty.
you still guilty.
Like, you feel
you
me?
still like, you still sexually assaulting them women, even if you not guilty, even if you innocent. So I can already see it. Like I don't even think they even been to, took it to trial yet.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you because I remember hearing about that. It's like beginning of the school year, like
yeah,
like that, or beginning of the season. But yeah, I haven't heard nothing about it.
Yeah, and I don't even think they went to trial yet, or if even all the allegations is sticking. But it was a crazy number. But you already see the public perception, like, oh, it's that many that came out. That means he done it. I see people saying, "F that guy," he's doing this, and I'm like, dang, like y'all know he was up against a full corporation, a full entity that has millions of dollars. And not taking away if anything happened to those women, but it's like still we have to understand when we step out of line, there is a planned, organized attack to take you out the game, and they will try their hardest to do it. They will try their absolute hardest, and people will say, "Oh no, that has nothing to do with it." But we see what happened when people step out in the NFL. So don't tell me nothing. Don't talk to me if we ain't gonna talk about everything.
Sure.
That's actually gonna be my new slogan. If you gonna disagree with me on one topic, I guarantee you that topic is connected to another topic that's connected to another topic. We're gonna have to talk about all three of them topics to get to that one answer.
Facts. So especially when it comes to situations like these, because I remember, like, man, this is a few years ago. I used to argue about this Bill Cosby stuff a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like before, a lot of people, like, like, I don't know if y'all saw Judge Joe Brown and stuff, like stuff he was saying. Like I was kind of saying that stuff like a few years ago, and I was even making examples. Like it's not just Bill Cosby, but it's like there's so many other examples too of this happening. You feel me? So
Michael Jackson with the little kids.
Yup.
Talking about he was sleeping with little kids. Came back. None of them. Nothing even happened. Right. All on their own accord, saying no, that did not happen. But still, what happens? Public perception still made Michael Jackson, he was sleeping with little kids.
Yeah, put it in cartoons. People will still make a joke about that today. But
still will. Yeah, you can still see it on South Park. They got South Park still depicts Michael Jackson messing with little kids. Something that's completely not true. And they still perceive Michael Jackson to do that stuff like he was a child molester. That type of stuff is crazy to me.
For sure, especially when it comes to allegations, like not just like the child stuff, but even just with like women and stuff, like we said, it's almost like those allegations. It's like even if that person is innocent, like he didn't do it, it's like crazy. Like and these people know what they like doing. Like if they plotting on somebody in that way to make these allegations, they know that's like the number one thing that you can. I mean, I don't want to say never come back from, but like everybody has gone through it. Like that's like. It becomes their legacy. You know what I'm saying? Even if they were innocent, right? It still becomes they was just guilty. Like it's crazy.
And then I feel like they're smeared and because even like when it comes to, like we said, allegations can sometimes end your career as a black man. Any allegations, you're damn near guilty, and it's gonna stick with you. It's always gonna stick with you, and so. Even with that, like people in our community, I know social media currently, is big on cancel culture. And if you make one mistake, you're out of here. Or if you made a mistake in the past, you're out of here. But then also too, people will be like, oh, our leaders are being killed. Our leaders are being attacked. And they'd be like, yo, you're the one that's attacking your own leaders. Like,
right.
They never like, I think I brought this up on a past episode. Like, I remember talking about Martin Luther King, and then somebody on Twitter was like, "Oh yeah, but he was cheating on his wife." Like, it's always something to like try to like. It's like always something.
They try to say Malcolm's a homosexual. You feel me?
Yeah, it's always something.
Everything.
And
for
then,
every leader, there's like something always negative to say.
And it's always our community. Like, okay, cool. Well. if y'all feel that way about Malcolm, no, Malcolm not the right way. Oh, or if it's the Nation of Islam. Oh, well, they did this to one of our, like, it's always something. It's always something. Like, we can never just be like, okay, this is somebody that we believe in. This is somebody we trust. No, a little bit of, insert white woman, insert white justice system that constantly attacks black men, incarcerates black men the most. They got us under slave laws when we're incarcerated. The 13th Amendment,
Oh
understand
yeah,
that.
yeah. You a
Like,
slave. You in prison. You got to do
understand.
work.
I just seen something crazy. I seen like collect calls from prison make like 1 point something $billion a year.
For real.
Something ridiculous. Yes.
Dang.
It was something crazy. Understand, them boys is slaves behind them bars. But then when we, any smidge, any smear in, a black person's name, then, we're just like, hey, kick them up the road, kick them into that same system that we know is targeting them, not knowing that these people can work around ways to make us view somebody a certain way. They can make you hate your mama. Trust me.
Yeah.
They can make you hate your mama.
Some real devil stuff, man. These people are devils, man.
No cap.
But hey, you want to go on to our next topic?
Yeah, give me 1 second here.
You got a little more background on this one than me.
Oh, yeah. All right, so while we was gone, we seen, while we was gone, still keeping up with some of the news, some of the social media, but I want to highlight the Sha'Carri Richardson. Sha'Carri Richardson is a track runner. She competes in the 100 and 200 meter run. I think she went to high school at LSU. But recently she has set a 100-meter track record in the world, that she qualified for the 2020 Olympics, 2021 Olympics. I don't know which one, if they're calling it that since it got postponed, but she qualified for the Olympics this year. After that, I think she got tested, and then they found marijuana in her system. And so with that, they had suspended her. And with the suspension, I think it was like a 3-month suspension, making she couldn't run for the Olympics due to the suspension. But on social media, I seen a lot of people, one, uninformed about how the Olympics work, and then two, just a lot of outrage, because I feel like a lot of people were rooting for Sha'Carri Richardson during this time. But since then, she went on, I think, Good Morning America to apologize. She understood what she did. She took full responsibility for what she did. I know she lost a parent, her mother to be exact. And so she's been dealing with that. And I think that's the main reason why she partook in, consuming marijuana or smoking weed. Me, I don't have no issue with that, but I know them folks at the Olympics would have an issue with that. They've had an issue with everything. So,
yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I thought this was another topic. So yeah, I heard about this one, and yeah, I mean, no, it's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Like I saw her too. You know what I'm saying? Like when said she broke a record, right? I think that's what I saw. Like that was all over the internet and stuff. So like I would like to see her run too. But yeah, when I was seeing this, and like I said, it's unfortunate, but I don't know what it is, but it's not just like Olympics, but it's a lot of different professional sports. Why can't we stay off the weed? Right? When it tells you cannot do, like, you can't do this drug, you know what I'm saying?
And people were like outraged, like, oh, they're racist. We know they look, y'all. We know the Olympics does not cater to our people. They are an entity that will cater to the majority. They're not going to cater to our people. And she knew that was a rule. So it's crazy that Sha'Carri, she took responsibility for it, and people were still like, no, this is racist. How y'all let Michael Phelps swim after he was caught smoking marijuana, and he didn't.
But there was like a period of time where, like, you felt like people, like I said, people are just uninformed.
Yeah, and
it's not smoke weed never in your lifetime. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to, but when it was competition time, he put it down, right?
And it's crazy because, like, I think how much marijuana is found in your system you can have a certain amount of it found in your system, right? But it can't go over a certain amount. I forgot what the exact
So
number
they're
was.
even a little bit lenient too, or
Yeah,
you think?
they're even a little
I
bit
didn't know that.
lenient. Like they're a little bit lenient to, you can
That's
still.
interesting.
It's just like this little sobriety test that they give you when you're drinking alcohol and you're drinking and driving. They be like,
It's
okay,
legal limit.
yeah, you got a little limit in you. But I guess the amount that she had in her system was way over it. So it was like within the last 24 hours where she smoked it. So she knew she had a test coming up to be tested. I don't think it was random, and she still decided to. And mind you, I'm not going to tell anybody how to cope. If you use that to cope and you use that to relax, that's you. That's your business. Cool. That's what you do. But at a time like this, I think everybody was just so happy to see her do it. Everybody was like, yo, black. I think it was her and another woman from Jamaica who were like the two up next, who was supposed to be like the head-to-head matchup that everybody wanted to see in the Olympics. So then for that to be taken away from everybody, I think everybody were just kind of clasping on something like, oh, they're racist, da 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 da. We know that these entities do not cater to us. I'm going to say that again. They do not cater to us. They do not care. They will use us and chew us up and spit us out. We can't even put up a black power fist during the national anthem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or your medals will be stripped away. You cannot wear that. You cannot wear Black Lives Matter attire at the Olympics. You will not be able to compete. If you have any Black Lives Matter gear on your body, you will not be able to compete.
That's crazy.
Now, those laws, we know what's going on. If that's the case, we do not need to compete in the Olympics, especially for the USA. Come on, we're representing countries that don't even rock with us. Why are we invested so much into this? That's what makes me so mad. People are calling the Olympics racist. She was going to run for the USA team. The USA is a racist country. That's the crazy part to me. It wasn't even that people were like, oh, it was just a little weed. Like, yeah, it was just a little weed. She knows she messed up. Stop taking it. Like, she knows she messed up. Y'all still trying to be like, she didn't mess up. She knows she messed up. She knew what the rules were. Everybody that's trying to be in the Olympics knows what the rules are.
And if you're an athlete too, like that's just a big thing. Like athletes know what they're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, right? Athletes know.
Even steroids, like they know.
They know. They know. Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just the discipline level. You know what I'm saying? And just in our community.
But I just thought it was so crazy that people were like, for real, like outraged, like, oh, it was just a little weed. Like, they're not finna make the exception just for her. They're not like, and I don't think people understand, like, weed isn't as popular in other countries as it is here. Like, weed isn't a huge topic in other countries like it is in the United States. Mm-hmm. So it's like you talking to the Olympics made up of people from all over the world. They don't care. They see marijuana. No, you can't. No, you're getting suspended. Yeah. And then I think too, but why I really brought it up is too because she did have the opportunity. She would qualify for like a relay race or something like that, or a 4x4 team, something. Oh, really? And yeah, she would have been able to still be a part of the Olympics, but that team didn't end up picking her up. So people were upset about that as well. So,
and which I mean, if that team's been training together for how long, and they've been like, could they really expect just to be like, oh yeah, you can't come to the Olympics no more? Like, I understand, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I think for that team, I think it's just random. They just kind of pick runners at random. I'm not sure.
So they weren't.
Yeah, they're not already together.
Well, actually, but we got to think though. If they knew they were running the relay together, they had to have been practicing you feel me?
Well, no, they got to pick the team. So I think they picked the relay team.
So they haven't had any practice? Okay.
No. I don't think
I thought they already selected them. They already knew they was going, So.
Yeah. But I want to add another thing. One thing that we can be upset about this Olympics is the swim caps for,
I heard about that.
For the women of color versus, non-women of color. I believe there was a swim cap that was designed for women of color to fit their hair it's a little bit larger so that all their hair can kind of fit in there. And because the other ones that they do have doesn't really go over their head correctly, and they can't swim properly. But um, the swim caps were made by black women. I wish I could pull it up. Kenyatta, if you know a little bit about this situation, you
That's
want to talk to it while I try to look up the swim cap.
that's something I should have put in, but it's from my understanding, like it was a swim cap for like natural hair. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
the fit, if they got a lot of hair, braids, or you know how it is, and them swim caps are like really like it will fit like my head no problem type stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you have like shorter hair, because they're really like tight. You know what I'm saying? But if you have a lot of hair, that's that's hard. It's gonna be real difficult, not comfortable. So that's what I got from it.
Yeah.
I didn't know who made the swim caps though, but I saw like a little bit on it, and I was just like, I kind of just reading through it, and I was like, yeah, that's bogus, but I wasn't surprised either. You feel me? Because that's how they do us. But
Oh yeah.
I
So
also too, I don't see the big deal either. Like, what's the deal? It's not. If anything, like I know it's like swimming. Like, I mean, the reason why they wear caps and they'll like shave too. You know what I'm saying? To like not hold them back. So if anything, it's not gonna enhance anybody. It would probably be even a little harder to swim with a lot more hair too. So it's not even like an advantage or anything at all.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So what's the problem? Like,
and I think I think it's called Soul Cap.
okay, I heard something about that.
I think that was the design, and it was denied, but it was worn by Alice Daring. She was 24. She made history, earning her place as the first Black British woman to swim for Team Great Britain at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I thought this was actually one of those things where it's like racism, like you can see it, and we know that Black women are always attacked for their features, their looks. They're held to a Western standard look, but especially their hair. Hair is always being attacked, and it doesn't matter if that's the workplace, if that's school, sports. Their hair is always being attacked. So I feel like that swim cap, if it's able, like I don't see, like you said, I don't see um the issue with them wearing that type of cap.
Yeah.
Um, if anything, it just adds more fabric for them to put on their head,
If anything,
which
it'll just weigh them down.
yeah, will just slow them down. But people have an issue with it. I even seen some people in like a couple of comments like, oh, they're better off wearing it this way. And these were non-black people, so their opinion does not matter. And if you're watching this and you're a non-black person and you have strong views about issues that are in our community,
About somebody else got
um,
on their head.
yeah, in our community, please keep those to yourself, and we do not care. And our especially when it comes to our Black women, please keep those to yourself. They do not care. I don't want to hear it because uh I don't want to hear it. One, because you don't have no business speaking on what we have going on and what makes us comfortable in this society. But then two, I know they don't want to hear it because they've been hearing it for their whole life on what they need to do with their hair and their head. So I just wanted to bring that up and point that out since we were talking about the Olympics.
Yeah, that's definitely a good one. I forgot all about that, but
Facts. And
yeah.
then
There's been a lot of like you even mentioned too, like the whole like can't wear Black Lives Matter. That totally just slipped my mind. But there's been a lot of like weird rules with the Olympics.
super subtle, super subtle.
Yeah,
Super subtle. It's like, okay, y'all making a little noise, but y'all gonna keep that in y'all country. Y'all ain't finna bring that to the games. And and it's I get it. Their whole thing is they don't want any, this is the games of the countries, not of social issues, but sometimes social issues need bigger platforms. And I um if we can't do it in places where we have a lot of eyes on us, we can't do it in the United States in sports. We've seen it with football. Basketball, they
yep.
get away.
Kaepernick. Yeah,
Yeah, basketball, they get to do a lot more, but still, they're still under an entity that, you know, doesn't care too much.
yeah.
doesn't care too much for our people. And then sports outside of that, I seen Naomi Osaka. I believe that's the girl that plays
Yeah,
tennis.
the tennis
She,
player. Yep.
yeah, she's half black, half Japanese. And she did not. Well, I believe she's supposed to be in the U.S. Is it the U.S. Open for tennis?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no, that's I
it was
think
like
that's
the
golf.
French. It was the French.
I think that's golf though,
It
right?
might be golf. It was like the French. It was
But
somewhere in
I know what you're
France.
talking. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it was mental health awareness month, and she didn't feel like talking to press.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I remember that.
and
Yeah.
she basically put out a statement basically saying for her mental health, she doesn't want to talk to press. Press usually um, talks about a lot of the negative things that she's done. They break down her game. It's just not an exciting thing to do when you're trying to compete at the highest level. So she essentially said, I'm not going to talk to press. I'm going to be supporting people for Mental Health Awareness Month. And us as athletes, we should be able to do that. We should be afforded the opportunity to not talk to press. And she ended up being
Yeah.
suspended.
Isn't don't we have freedom of press too? That's funny. Like
So since she did not want to talk to press, I guess it's a requirement by the tournament that she was in, and they end up finding her for it. So she ended up having to pay some money. She didn't care. She's like, I hope that that money that you find me for will go towards a some type of mental health charity, and be used the correct way. And then I believe she ended up stepping out after that. Either she stepped down or they suspended her for not talking to the press.
yeah,
Which,
I think she left. She
yeah,
chose to leave. I
she
think.
chose
Yeah.
to leave. Yeah, which is amazing. So we see the power that we do have, and of course, she is you know, she's a generational talent. She's one of those talents that she's competing with the best, and you kind of see the handoff from Serena and Venus
Yep.
handing the torch off to her, which is amazing, and it's a beautiful thing. But just for her to have that much power to say, "Hey, I'm not going to talk to press," and then two, once you find me, I'm going to step down. I'm going to step out of this thing. I do not need to compete. I've already made millions of dollars out of tennis, and you guys' numbers. It's only going to hurt you not to have me here. So I kind of like that talk when they start talking that. But even with that, you can see there's still attack on, for one, mental health isn't taken seriously, and in our community, mental health isn't taken so seriously as well. So I'm happy she at least spoke up about that to that institution, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts.
And then it's like too. Also, you gotta realize what makes it really significant to me too is, especially as Black people, like when we do these things, we don't really have nothing to fall back on either. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so obviously she's real big. Like she gonna play other places and stuff, but
Yeah.
like we don't have no black on. This is why ownership's important. This is why I think every single episode, it probably in one episode we ain't talked about owning something. You feel me? But this is why ownership is important because let's say that's the NBA basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen with J. Cole, he played in the Africa League, which is cool. That would be cool if we start doing stuff like that as an option. But I mean, once let's say we get into it with the NBA, okay, that player is gone. He ain't making no money. He ain't a professional basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And no more really. You know what I'm saying? We don't have our own league. So even like when people step like and do stuff like that, it's like they don't have nothing to fall back on. They really doing it like because that's where their heart's at. You know what I'm saying? Like they know the consequences too. They probably not. There's really nowhere else to go, but it's like their values are more important to them than the dollar amount. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
respect that.
I definitely respect that too, and I
Yeah.
I appreciate that when I see people do it. I wish, like we did say this before, especially I think our sports episode we talked about, a sports and entertainment
Yep.
episode, we talked about it. I wish there was a way for our leaders and our the people in sports that have thought and kind of know the research and do the studying on their own. And I wish we had more support for them to fall back on once they do make that power move, that chess move. Colin Kaepernick, that's a chess move. Muhammad Ali, that's a chess move.
Mahmoud,
Uh, yeah.
he was before Kaepernick, right?
Yep, exactly. And thank you.
The NBA.
Oh,
Yep.
yep, exactly. And I want to highlight all these people, all the people that have done this before. But we need something where they can fall back on, even if that's just some money. just some money to fall back on, some support to fall back on, the fame to fall back on. We praise these people for, a lot of times we praise them just for being in the position that they're in. But what if they risk that position to help us move into a better position? That's when we have to be there for them. It's going to be continued excellence, man. Even for Sha'Carri Richardson, she'll be back, in competing for the Olympics, and there's still a whole bunch of black athletes out there still doing the same thing. I know they have the same fight, but they're trying to lock in a position right now. So I can't be mad at them. Definitely can't be mad at them for that. But shout out for Naomi doing that. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson, even though she went, did what she did. Still want her to exceed and do well in life, because I know she has a bright future. Everybody's rooting for her. That was probably the realest I done seen somebody. She had the nails. She had the hair.
That's what everybody was talking about.
Yeah, that's that's the realest I done seen somebody.
She came out there like, you feel me?
We tapping in. That's the hood tapping in on to being something greater for real. Like if you don't see that, you should. Tell it just come, man. It just for her. You feel me? She just came out there and ran. Yeah, you see,
still broke a record.
Yeah, you see the folks from our side, from our culture, really from that express our culture for real. They don't care. They're gonna express it in any area that they at, in any institute they at. They're gonna express our culture in those times, man. I really appreciate that. I was happy seeing that folks talking about her long nails, the hair. I was like, okay, she got the full 9, and she blowing folks out the water. So you can't say nothing. She is really her. That's really her. And I was, super impressed by that. And I was, this is just going to be, a highlight of that. And I'm happy to at least know she's okay. And I hope that, she gets through it with her, able to grieve properly over her mother and, be with her family, and everybody's keeping her safe. And we continue to support her and her journey of learning, and also to Naomi as well.
For sure.
And then next, I wanted to highlight Zaila Avant-Garde. I believe that's how you pronounce it. She was she's a 14-year-old Black girl who won the spelling bee championship. And it was all over social media when it happened. Yeah. She spelled the Maria, whatever that word was. I can't even pronounce it. So I know she's smart. I know I can't spell it. It was like Maurrya. It was something crazy. I probably just spelled it wrong. And I done seen the video 6 times, just being able to see her smile and her in that moment. I thought that was beautiful. Also, she is the first African-American to win that spelling bee championship, which is it's crazy. That's Black excellence. That's crazy. What you had on that one?
Man, so first when I saw that, right, I don't know. Do you remember? You probably thinking this too. You remember Akilah and the Bee?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, that was actually because I think this was in like 3rd grade. Like I was trying to get into spelling bee too because of that movie though.
I see you. Yeah.
Like, I was really, like that's when I opened my eyes to like the spelling bee and stuff like that. But that's what I thought of right away, and it was really like I'm sure there's a lot of other Black children that are going to be inspired by this.
Facts. What I'm saying? It's
real cool to me.
Yeah, I think it was just I seen the Akilah and the Bee. I seen a lot of that. I thought it was just amazing, like just seeing the look on her face the moment when she spelled the word and she seen it was correct. I think that was like, okay, that look was like she's definitely put in the work. But then too, like maybe a day after that, people start getting into her basketball career. Like she is for real like a prodigy with the basketball at 14. Like for real got handles.
Man, yeah, because like that's what I saw for her. I saw like the spelling bee, and then somebody shared her like doing like dribbling drills and stuff.
Facts.
Like juggling, and like she talented.
And she for real a bucket. Like they had her highlight videos in one of the little threads on Twitter. I'm watching. I'm like, hold on, she for real a bucket. And then come to find out, she got 3 Guinness World Records, like for dribbling the ball and whatnot. I think it's for like most basketballs dribbled or something like that in a minute. something crazy, but she got 3 of them guys, and I'm like, at 14, she doing it all. She doing the whole 9. So
For
I
sure. We're
thought
gonna
that
be
was
we gonna have to look out for her in the future for sure. You know what
no
I'm
cap,
saying?
and we need to
A lot of
protect
talent.
her, and put her on a platform where she needs to be, because she is definitely talented. Um, One thing I feel like our community needs to do better of is cultivating and taking care of talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we see it in other cultures. Like, let's see, like let's take the Ellen show. Ellen, she highlights a lot of, still pretty diverse with the talent that she brings onto her show. If you guys don't know who Ellen DeGeneres is, please just look it up. You guys should know though.
Yeah, she everywhere.
Yeah, she's everywhere in daytime. But cultivating our talent that comes out of our community and protecting them and providing them a platform. That girl, she should always have a platform.
Yeah.
There's no reason for her not to have a platform for people to follow her. Um, she's too gifted not to have that. And there's so many others, like her, almost to her level, other black children that are still super gifted that aren't, in the right spots right now, are not protected, are not getting funding. People aren't going to fund you to go to different spelling bee championships across the nation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not
Yeah,
something
stuff like
that
that.
if we went to somebody like, hey, can you give me $100 and ask your friend to give me $100 so I can get to the spelling bee in Florida, how many people are going to do that for them? You know what I'm saying? That's not something that just come easy. So I feel like we need to make sure that we're taking care of these people, these kids, adults too, that have talent, and make sure that they're around the right people. Let them keep grinding to greatness, but still, I'm definitely going to try to make sure I look out for her, because I know her main dream is to be in the WNBA. So definitely going to have to keep an eye out on that.
For sure. And too, I feel like oftentimes like we'll look at like we'll only protect people that like have like a sport talent. And in this
Yeah.
case, she really intelligent, right? Good at the spelling bee, and she got sport talent. But yeah, I often
Mm-hmm.
see sometimes like oh yeah, don't do nothing to him. Like he gonna be in the league someday or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to start protecting people that are intelligent too, because
Facts.
like I mean I'm not saying like you can be a professional basketball player, do your thing, whatever, be a professional athlete, but we need entrepreneurs, right? That's what's really gonna save the the community. You know what I'm
The
saying? We
thought
need,
provokers,
you know what I'm saying? That's what we need.
the
But
thought leaders.
yeah, but them they don't get protected. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a ball in your hand, now I was an athlete myself, so I'm not coming from a place of, you feel me. But
Yeah.
it's like, we need to protect them people too, right? So
Yeah. Our mind, the entertainment is sad. Well, it's not, it's still a way for people to provide, but, entertainment in our community is probably the fastest way to make some money, or the most glorified way to make money. But understand there's different opportunities, entrepreneurship to make money. A whole bunch of things that our community just isn't privy to, or isn't popular in our community, um, like it should be. And I think this would be a great segue. But even like stocks, and we talk about it all the time on this podcast, and that's why
oh
we keep
yeah,
bringing it up. Stocks and cryptocurrency,
real estate.
real estate. These people are making money. Oh, and can y'all, I think this just brought up a great topic, and this might have to be one for next week. But the
Okay,
real estate market, we got to talk about that, and what's
right.
going on in real estate. I think it's time for at least another update, because by the time our next episode come out, we should be able to talk about it a little bit more, because something either big is happening in real estate, or it's going to stay the same. And um, I think it's going to be something big. It's going to be a big change in real estate. I think July 31st is the date, but
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we're still kind of understanding and learning ways to make money. So on that, we can move into our next topic here.
Oh yeah,
Um,
so at the end, y'all know we come with the financial news, right? And we got a story for y'all. So I found this story in Square, right? And Square owns like Cash App, you know what I'm saying? They're financial entity, but they're trying to make a decentralized banking app using Bitcoin, right? And that Square CEO Jack Dorsey, he said that the company is focused on building an open developer platform with the sole goal of making it easier to create non-custodial, permissionless, and decentralized financial services, right?
Hmm.
And it's going to rely on smart contracts rather than banks or third parties to execute the transaction. So what I'm getting from this is like, so like Cash App, right? Because Square owns Cash App, that's
Yep.
what they're known for. But so when it's like, okay, it's like your Cash App, then the bank, and then the person. You know what I'm saying? If you're sending people money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then like imagine like if you have like crypto or Bitcoin. And I think they're using the Ethereum blockchain too as well, right? So I know a lot of people heard about Ethereum as a coin, but Ethereum's also like the technology part too. You know what I'm saying? With the blockchain. So they got the
Yep.
currency, there's the technology. But just imagine instead of like a big bank or a third party, whatever, it's you know what I'm saying? And then it's like the decentralized aspect, or really it's just cutting out the middleman. So instead of you bank the person, it's just like you take out the middleman. It's just you sending money to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Decentralized. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what's going on. So I mean we'll look more into this too, but I mean we talked about crypto a lot on the show. So this whole decentralized currency thing is getting bigger and bigger. You feel me?
And Square, they're making a lot of power moves. Square is doing a lot behind the scenes. Yeah, Square is just doing a lot behind the scenes. They're making a lot of money. Can definitely tell a lot of people are using Cash App because I see them making a lot of different moves. They're moving a lot of money around, and they're trying to make more money, and they're trying to be the leaders of something big here. So I respect Square and what they're doing. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that wraps it up. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah. I do want to say, make sure that you keep looking out for the videos. I know we've been a little inconsistent here, but we finna get back on a little pattern.
Yep.
And trying to be a little bit more consistent. We're going to try to push this thing forward, and we need that support. If you do follow us on IG, please click the link in our bio. Watch those watch the rest of our YouTube videos that we have. We have 12 other episodes you can watch, all super fire, all at least an hour, 45 minutes of content of just knowledge that you can, either brush up on, or you can learn something new here. This is me and Kenyatta, just putting our heads together and trying to provide the best content, the best information, not get too deep into certain things, and still keep everyone pretty much satisfied on all fronts. Let us know what you like on this podcast. Just kind of give us a little constructive feedback so that we can keep this thing going, keep us pushing, keep us thinking. But this will be a harder push come in the next couple of weeks here.
For sure. And I was gonna say we have some good guests on the show too. You feel me? So it's not
Yeah,
just us. We getting some guests and all that. So check,
yeah,
check those out. Right? Engage.
definitely.
Be in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts.
share, subscribe, comment.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
want
that's what.
this.
So,
We want this to be a community thing, and we told y'all that from the first episode. We want everybody to be a part of this, this wave of just information and knowledge. It's not just us talking to you to teach you. Y'all, we're still in our learning phase. We're forever going to be learning. We're forever going to learn. We're forever going to try to understand new things. So we want to make this, one thought. If somebody doesn't know something about something, we can educate them. Our people are stronger with understanding, and if we all have the same understanding, we can all live by that same code. We can all be on one accord, and we all can be uniform, something that our community has been missing for quite some time, and that's always going to be attacked by the powers that be. But other than that, this has been another episode of the Envelope Pushers with Sam, and
yada. Peace.
keep on pushing. Peace.